What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got multiple different things for you guys here in this video. You're not going to believe what the oil and gas companies are doing here. Take a look. Also, I will have a special guest appearance for you guys at the end of this video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. President Biden says the oil companies should ramp up production and cut prices at the pump instead of buying back stock and paying billions of dollars in dividends, because that's what they're using their money for. Check this out. Profits at the six largest publicly traded oil companies topped $70 billion in just the second quarter alone. Think about that. $70 billion in profits in just the second quarter alone. Wow. And that's just the top six largest oil companies. Biden added that in the first half of the year, those companies spent $20 billion in stock buybacks. That means they're buying back their stock. That's how they're spending their money. $20 billion. The most significant stock buyback in almost a decade. So far, American companies are using that windfall of their profits to buy back their own stock, passing that money on to their shareholders, not to consumers. This is as the oil industry said, the Chevron CEO says here, that there will be no new refineries in the US built ever because it was too expensive. They didn't want to spend the money on it. This is also one of the excuses they say on why gas and oil prices are too high. They blame the lack of refineries, and they also say it's too expensive to build any. Meanwhile, they're spending $20 billion already this year in stock buybacks. Yeah, so just think about the hypocrisy. And remember, these oil companies blame everybody. Oh, it's the president's fault. It's the government's fault. It's the war's fault. It's everybody else's fault except for them. Meanwhile, they're raking in more profits than they ever have before. They're purposely not building refineries. They're purposely taking their money and buying back stock. They have more billions of dollars than they know what to do here. And gas and oil prices continue. I mean, sure, they might fluctuate a little bit. You might see a little bit of relief here, but over time, what are they doing? They're going up and up and up and up. Remember here that just recently, California gas prices rose over $1, in some cases $1.50 in 30 days, because the gas and oil companies said it was because of refinery maintenance. You could see that this was just in September. Gas prices jumped 20 cents in one day, overnight, in Northern California. This is the type of crap that they pull on U.S. consumers, on millions and millions of Americans, and they get away with it. They get away with it. Price gouging to the hilt, and they get away with it. Now remember, the United Kingdom didn't let them get away with it. They passed a one-off windfall tax on the gas giants, and they actually give a rebate. They give the money on the windfall tax. You have to kind of know all the details and be a United Kingdom resident and stuff. But they give money back to the United Kingdom residents of this windfall tax. So they basically tax them on their excess profits and give it back to the United Kingdom residents. They just got tired of it. California is calling for the same thing. I believe they have a meeting coming up in December to potentially hold the oil and gas companies accountable as well. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. But as of this point, the oil and gas companies just kind of price gouge us, charge us whatever they want, and really just get away with it. You can let me know your thoughts on this. But right now, nothing's working. They just do whatever they want and just blame whoever they want and just say, oh, well, it's not our fault, not our fault. Meanwhile, I see articles like this. Oil could surge well over $100 a barrel after the midterms, which would mean a significant raise in gas prices, even more than they are now. Here's the reason why. It's not necessarily because of the midterms, but just because of what's going to happen here. Here's the reasons. The markets risk losing Russian barrels in December. And again, we don't buy any Russian oil, but it affects the whole market and the price of oil and the price of gas. Remember that the price of oil and the price of gas goes up. It affects the price of oil and the price of gas here instantly. Okay. In December, as EU restrictions on imports and shipping potentially dissuade tanker owners from moving that country's crude. Okay, this will happen in December. As a result, oil prices are going to be headed well over $100 going into December, while near-term prices are pressured by strikes in France and lockdowns in China that suppress demand. However, once those wear off, Europe will have to stop importing 1 million to 1.5 million barrels a day of Russian crude when the embargo on seaborne shipments takes effect in December. Also, don't forget that Saudi Arabia and Russia, Vladimir Putin, president, and Saudi Arabia cut production so deep, it surprised even Russia. What a headline here. OPEC Plus, they just cut production by 2 million barrels per day to raise the price of oil. Because when they lower the production of oil, it causes the price to go up because of supply and demand. OPEC Plus slashed oil production following a Saudi pressure campaign that experts say aims to hurt Democrats in the midterms. Well, that's what it says right here. Interesting thought there. It says here a move that would drive up the price of oil just a month before the midterm elections. Wow. And then you have headlines like this. Energy price shuffle means no inflation relief. Winter utility bills to cancel the gas savings. So we're seeing gas down here from the highs, but winter gas, natural gas, and the type of, if you use a different type of gas for your winter heating, are going to be extremely expensive. On average, it's double or more than double what it was before the Russian war, because Russia has cut off that supply of gas to most of Europe, and that price has more than doubled. Even here in the US, because it's traded on a global scale, so the price of that is pretty much the same around the world. We also look at this. US food insufficiency surged by 25% after the end of the child tax credits. So remember that there was 60 million children, 40 plus million families that were getting the monthly payments of the child tax credits. Of course, we can't get Republicans and Democrats to agree on that either. So those monthly payments of that have ended as well. Yeah, supply chain woes. Inflation could push the cost of Thanksgiving turkeys to the highest levels ever. Yeah. Thanksgiving turkeys will likely skyrocket in price this year due to inflation, supply chain issues, and outbreaks of the avian flu among flocks. Yeah. Inflation and economic stability have caused turkey prices to shoot up as farmers pay more to feed and labor. While supply shortages continue to affect the industry, according to the New York Times. Supply chain issues began to affect turkey farms in 2019 and were exacerbated by 2 years of pandemic infections, restrictions, and bringing up fresh skinless turkey breasts up by 112%. Wow. The Department of Agriculture found that the average price of frozen turkeys is up by 73% since last year. The wholesale price inflated to $1.85 per pound, compared to 90 cents per pound in 2019. So that's basically double. Yeah, so it's tough times out here. Credit card interest rates at the highest they have ever been. We've gone over that here in the last few videos. Um, yeah, and you look at Congress. Now we have Republicans trying to block the student loan forgiveness for over 40 million Americans. Um, you know, yeah, and they're not raising taxes on that. Think about the help that's going to provide for the 40 plus million Americans. We also have a bill in Congress, or a couple bills in Congress, to raise Social Security benefits in addition to the massive cost of living adjustment that's going out here of 8.7%. So it's actually a really good year for Social Security benefits because we have the 8.7% increase, and Medicare Part B premiums are going down by $5. So, because really, remember last year, Medicare Part B went up by $21, and inflation's worse this year. So, Medicare Part B could have went up by more than $21. Medicare Part B could have went up by $30 and took a large chunk of the Social Security raise. So it's actually a good thing Medicare Part B went down this year, and Social Security is having the largest increase in 41 years. So that was kind of a double win for seniors there as well. So that honestly, this will probably be the only year that this happens. So I guess that's a good thing. So I guess we'll take the wins as we get them. It'll kind of help offset everything that's going on here. So, and really, the stock market is starting to rally a little bit. The Dow jumped yesterday almost 750 points as stock ended higher. Bond yields fall as the reports that the Fed may shift to a smaller rate hike after November. But the problem here is we're expecting another rate hike in November and December. Yeah. You can see here the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq scored the biggest weekly percentage gains since June. So the stock market is forward-thinking, forward-looking. So the stock market is actually back on the upswing because it's looking forward. It's thinking forward. It's always looking towards the future. And they're thinking, well, maybe the worst is almost over. The problem here for the average American is that we have more rate hikes yet to come, which means credit card interest rates are going to go even higher, mortgage rates are going to go even higher, car loans are going to go even higher, and yeah, I mean, and we look at the government's trying to provide relief. We look at the student loan forgiveness for over 40 million Americans, 33 states providing inflation relief checks, stimulus checks, different type of things like that. The SNAP raises going out to the states that are provided there. And then we have some people trying to block some of this stuff. So you got to kind of think, what might the next program be? So I'll keep you up to date here. Let me know your thoughts. And without further ado, here is our special guest, my son, Hurricane Julian. What do you say?
Happy Halloween!
Yeah. What have you been up to lately?
Going to the street.
Yeah. And have you been going to school lately?
Yeah.
And what have you been doing at school?
Playing inside. Playing inside.
Yeah, and playing.
Pooping on the potty.
What? I can't believe it.
Peeing on the potty too.
No.
And flossing.
That's so good. And we've been watching Halloween cartoons and Halloween movies.
Yeah.
We got to watch this movie called Hocus Pocus 2. Yeah, we watched this old movie from Disney. It's on Disney Plus. By the way, if you have Verizon service, I think you get Disney Plus for free. So look into that, by the way. But we watched this old movie called Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat for Halloween. And with the witch, right? And
Yeah.
and Donald Duck and the Donald Duck
Guys.
the little Donald Duck babies, the Donald Duck cousins.
Yeah, and then they put bombs in the
Yeah, and he
things.
puts the magic on his feet, and he goes, "Go out about a mile or two," right? Yeah, and Donald Duck is stingy. He doesn't want to give up the candy.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I don't know what I think. Do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe he says he wants to make them bomb their face.
Maybe he thinks he wants to give him the Halloween tickles.
No, not Halloween tickles. They're gonna give him the pumpkin tickles.
Ah!
This is a pumpkin tickle.
Did everybody get to see your McDonald's McPumpkins here? We got one here and we got one way back there.
And we got
Over
another
there.
one. And we got another one that we didn't get, and it's the green one.
Yeah, we haven't got the green one yet.
Yeah.
We have to get it.
Yeah, but we don't know how.
Yeah, Daddy had those when he was a kid.
He got all three of them at once.
Yeah, well, yeah, they came back. I think they came out in 1985. All right, buddy, what do you want to say?
Goodbye.
Say Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Say we love you.
We love you.
And say we'll see you in the next video.
We'll see you in the next video. Happy Halloween. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas and happy Halloween.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.